going to try and create a sign for our shop. So I've called my shop Brittles Bakery, and we're going to create a nice big sign at the top here. So to start with, I'm going to create a new work plane, something we're quite familiar with now. So I'm going to use this surface to project my work plane from, and then I'm going to use the plane tool up here, and that will create me a nice big work plane on there. I want to pull it this way very slightly just to leave a gap of about, I'm going to say 200 millimeters. Okay, so I've got that gap there. I'm then going to tick, and I'm going to start to draw my bracket for holding my sign. So I'm going to start a sketch on that work plane and begin to draw. So if I look at it from the right hand side, I can see more about what I'm doing. It'll be a little bit easier for me. And I'm just going to draw two rectangles, so nothing too complicated, on the front there and one at the back here. And it'll look like it's bolted down onto the roof for my writing to go on the front of. So let's dimension this up and get it a little bit more accurate. So that distance from there to the front, we'll just set it back maybe 50 millimeters, so there's a small gap. The distance of this to the bottom, we want it touching that surface, so we're going to make that 0, and then we can make this maybe 400 back, so it's got a good support. And we want a nice big sign, so let's make that 600 high, so we've got space to put whatever we need on. And the width of these are the thickness of the two pieces as well. Make them consistent. We'll make that 20, and the same with this bottom one here, 20 and 20, all dimensioned up, and we can extrude that across now. So finish the sketch, use the extrude button at the top, and we're going to pull that all the way across to about 50mm gap from this end here. So look at it from the front, faces that we want to extrude as sketch 17, and you'll see it's starting to go this way. Drag it across, and we want that gap and this gap to be roughly equal, so 2000 looks like it does that quite nicely. We can zoom out and we can see that we're starting now to put our sign on there quite well. We'll put some brackets to support that in a second to add a sense of realism to it as well, but now we're going to put some writing on. So this is where we have the ABC tool within a sketch. So we're going to sketch on the front of this, sketch, and we're going to use the writing tool. Okay, when we're using the writing tool, we click and drag for where we want it, and I'm going to start by writing Brittles. Pick my font, so I want the stencil font. I'm going to click tick. So you can see it's inserted my writing onto the top there. I'm going to finish that sketch there. I'm going to do the same again on this work plane. Some writing down here. I'm going to make that say bakery, and that's going to be all in capitals this time around. Okay, so finish that, extrude them, and we're about to be done. Let's go then, extrude. We'll start with Brittles, so sketch 18, and we're just going to make that the thickness of acrylic really. So we're going to make it a 9mm thickness, just sticking out slightly, and that's done. We'll do the same for the next one, so extrude again, sketch 19 this time, 9mm, and that's done. The mistake I've made on Brittles anyway is I've added it to the stand. I don't want that, I want new. So click new, click tick. They're all different colours. We can boolean them together in a second. So just on here we've got part 27 to 32. Holding shift on your keyboard, click part 27, then holding shift, click on part 32. Right click on all them parts and boolean, and that will join them all to say they're one. Okay, because they're not actually touching, it won't join, so really we could probably leave that step unless you want to put a line, make them join. So we'll just ignore that for 2 seconds, and I'm going to click on part 27, click shift, part 32, right click, and I'm going to edit the appearance for all 6 parts so they at least look the same. I'm going to go for a nice bright red for my bakery, and click a tick. Okay, and you can see my sign standing out there, so I've got Brittles Bakery. It's starting to get there. To change Brittles back, so we're going to extrude 17, we're going to go to edit the extrude, change it to new, instead of adding it to the stand, and it'll be new parts. And you'll see at the bottom here we're going to have loads of new bits, so we've got all sorts down here that we need to select. So if we go part 27 all the way down to part 48, we're going to right click, edit the appearance for all 22, red, and tick. Okay, you can then see we've got Brittle's Bakery sign up now on the shop, and we're all looking good.